My name is Millie Trend and I'm a fourth year fashion BA student. In my family, design is a big thing. My dad was a photographer, my mum studied art, so it sort of runs in the family, I guess.
Fashion is like kind of a childhood dream for me. When I was young, I really liked to dress up my Barbie dolls.
I'm originally from Dundee in Scotland and I never really expected to get into EC. So when I got in, my art teacher was crying and me and another girl in our class both got in from the same school, so it was a huge achievement to get into here.
Actually, I chose the Tutor University first. We have the chance to come to Edinburgh for further study, so I think it will be a very good chance for me to try different kind of teaching ways.
Fashion design often has quite a competitive environment around it, which is sort of what put me off from studying in London. The environment here is very creative driven and it's not competitive. And it's probably the only collection, unless you set up your own brand, where it's all your own decisions that make up the whole collection.
I just hope everything will be okay. Yeah. I have to say, the result is a match to my ideas.
I like to work in these sort of smaller pieces because I just feel like they're more interesting. These are all just my textile experiments. One of my themes was looking at heritage on both my sides, basically. So I explored both my nan's upbringings. My mum's side was very into sort of classic cars and I used to go to rallies and stuff with my granddad. And then another theme is sleep and the textures around sleep. So just exploring what comfort is to me, which is a big part of that nostalgia and growing up going to the countryside, visiting my nan. And then I started developing sort of pattern ideas. This then was turned into a print idea based on sleep positions. I'm sort of looking at creating pyjama wear, but in a more elevated way so that it's wearable outside of being pyjamas. Bode was probably my biggest inspiration. There's a massive nostalgic feel in their work, which I love, and that's something I'd like to replicate in mine. Fabrics and what I'm collating is really important to me, and most of the fabrics I'm using are sourced from my family or their heirlooms or secondhand. So for the end of this semester, my goal is to just collect interesting material. Yeah.
I discovered that the more things are coded, the more curious people are through the common selling tactics. So my concept is to find what attracts people by research the common ways of coding life. It's like this kind of thing. And Canvas Squares is also kind of blind box. So these kind of things makes me think about this thing. Yeah. Another thing is about the sound related to the organs. It's kind of Chinese mystery things. So I found that different kind of sounds can have different shapes. And then I try to choose the particular one and to find my own shape of it, a 3D shape of it. When things censored, it makes people more curious. So my project is to uncover these mystery things.
So after having loads and loads of pages of research, I just kind of went through the pages and I pulled out the images that meant the most to me. So they're just family photographs from our family trip to Cuba. So I've been looking at this one specifically. I'm really drawn to the florals and the colours within this photograph. So I've been looking at Cuban nature. So this is just the very first lineup produced from my initial research. So we were looking at silhouette and focused on unconventional silhouette and different materials and experimenting. And this is just some of the samples that I produced. So I just play with different techniques and yarns to see what different textures and patterns I can create. I'm very, very focused on knitwear. So my week was just spent at the knitting machine, just producing as many samples as I could. Once I start focusing on that first prototype and getting that made and physical, it'll seem far more realistic for myself to
push to continue to create the rest of the collection as well.
So this is look 1 and look 5, and these are the fabrics. So this will be like alpaca wool on the sides, and then the print is going to be like this on the main body of the jumpsuit. It's really hard to get the fit right. This is probably my like 4th prototype, I think. So yeah, that one's been tricky. This look is going to be predominantly like leather, I think, if I have enough, because I'm using like a sofa, so I only have a select amount of that. And it will have fastenings that are like motorcycle themed.
Actually, the whole collection will be used like this fabric, and for decoration, my waving, things like that. Some layers and layers, so it fits my concept of like coding. For these trousers, I totally make it by draping. I want it to be like 3-dimensional, not just a flat trousers. It took me like 3 days to figure out all the front patterns, so it's one of the difficulties.
So I've actually started making final fabrics for this outfit. So this is for the top panel here. So it's like a knitted flares and a knitted top as well. One piece of feedback that I keep getting in every fitting is just to like keep elevating the colour palette more, like just really go for it, make it as bright as possible, and just really push like the floral aspect of it all as well. I do really enjoy having the feedback weekly. I think that it's such an important part that we'll never get that again. Sometimes when I do have the tutorials, it's a massive confidence boost in the sense that I realise I should be giving myself more credit for the amount of work that I do on a weekly basis and how intense this course is.
As an international student, I think language is one of the challenge for me because I'm not a native speaker, so sometimes I cannot say what I really want. We have some seminars that talk to the native speakers, so it's kind of challenge for me. I think the way is just don't be nervous. Every week I will like organize all my questions and things I want to ask before I talk with the teacher, so that I can do things independently when the teachers are not around. They also have a lot of different ideas that I never thought about, so it's really helpful.
You just go in with what you have and explore like what they think you should go for next, like what avenues to go down, what things to maybe pull back on. Because I think often this year you get sort of focused in your own mind, and it's quite nice to have like different perspectives from like different tutors. This semester's been like the best semester of the whole course, I think. Everyone's starting to develop a collection, and seeing like initial lineups to now seeing it all like physically is like really rewarding. Everyone's got so close because we're all so like in the same boat, and I think people that aren't studying fashion find it hard to understand like the amount of stress or like the amount of time we spend here.
This semester is mainly about the manufacturing, so I think it's even busier than last semester. My weaving technique took me a lot of time, so I get a little bit tired of it after looking at it for a long time and doubt whether it will be good on the garment.
I think I'm so harsh on myself that when I'm beginning to make my designs, I'm not happy with them. We had to do a photo shoot for our final outcome, and I think even the morning of the photo shoot, I still didn't feel like I'd done the best that I could. And then once I saw it all together on a real life person, that was a real highlight. Like I was just like, I've done it, and it looks exactly how I wanted it to look, and it looks better on a person than it could on any mannequin.
When I was doing the photo shoot, my garments looks even better than I was expecting. It makes me feel like I'm professional. It's a little weird. Actually, I have finished all my 5 outfits at this time, and I just need to fix some small problem of the garment. I haven't changed a lot about my concept, but I do change many times about my final outfits.
I would say it's nothing like what I pictured my final collection would be like, and I think that they warned us of that at the start. But I'm very proud of it, and the materials I've used have all come from my family secondhand, so I think that's something I'm really proud of. This is my look 4. It's originally inspired by a classic sleepwear pyjama set from the 1950s. They're basically patchwork stripes made from upcycled wool. The stripes were inspired by my great-granddad's rugby team. And then the helmet just brings in the idea of the motorcycling theme. And then all the leather is my sofa leather.
So pretty much all of the fabrics used in my collection has been designed and made by myself. We realised that it would be quite nice to just showcase the fabrics and the skills in one piece. So this is my final look. This is kind of my showpiece of my skills and the fabrics that I've developed. Also the headpiece. I was casting flowers in the ECA casting studio, and then I've used these through the collection as headwear, accessories, or fastenings throughout some of my other outfits as well.
I used my weaving and filled it on the wool fabric to make the cross. The whole process is very stressful, but I also feel very proud when I have some small result. All these things makes me feel very proud and very happy.
I love being in the studio, so I'm sort of making the most of the facilities I have still before I graduate, but it's sort of bittersweet because it's been a very stressful year, so it's nice that it's coming to an end, but it is sad. So I was really excited to be picked for the press photo call, which is basically where they pick sort of 5 students' work just to show one outfit, and then press comes and photographs it for the advertisement of the final show. And I picked my jumpsuit just because I feel like it probably sums up the wackiest side of my collection. It's quite strange.
I feel like my work has been recognized.
The atmosphere of the fashion show was just amazing. Backstage it's quite hard to tell what it looks like from the other side, but backstage it was just such a buzz. Even though it was very chaotic, it was still so much fun.
It was actually quite nerve-wracking. I didn't think I'd be as nervous as I was, just because it was in such a big space.
My 2 years in Edinburgh brought me a lot of good memories, but the most memorable things must be the graduate show.
My family came through from Dundee, so that was really nice for them to be able to come and see everything in the flesh. And they haven't really had the chance to see much of my work throughout the year, so they were really proud and really emotional, so that was really nice to see everybody there.
So I had my flatmate, my family, and it was really nice, seeing them as we had to go out at the end. Just seeing them as I walked down was really nice.
Walking the catwalk at the end was so nerve-wracking. I hate doing that. I don't like the attention being on me.
Actually, I invited my friend to come to the show, and at the end of the catwalk, I was like crazily searching where's my friend.
That was really quite tricky. So it made me realise how hard it is to do that. I don't envy like the models' jobs at all. Like I'm not cut out for that, and it was fun.
So thinking back to my art teacher from school and my younger self, I think my younger self would definitely be surprised with how much I have done and how much I've achieved and over how many hurdles I've overcame. And I actually did have the chance to speak to my art teacher. She came to the fashion show, so it was actually really nice to see her there. She was so emotional and she was so proud, and she just kept saying, I can't believe what you've done and what you've achieved. So that was really, really nice.
When I first entered the university, I was a very shy girl, and I even need to like prepare for a long time to asking questions, and because of teachers encouragement and their patience, I feel more confidence now, and I can like express what I think.
I'm really proud of how much I have grown, and I think that it's such a significant difference from the day that I first joined. I've had opportunities. I worked for Dior for like a week in May, and I wouldn't have got that without the contacts of Edinburgh, so things like that have been really exciting.
I think I will miss all the staffs, all the people here.
Definitely going to keep in touch with everybody, but it's going to be quite sad not seeing them every day anymore.
My parents will come to the graduate ceremony. I haven't seen them for a long time, so I miss them a lot, and I also appreciate their support.
It's nice to just finally have the full closure to the degree and to just celebrate the past 4 years.
My brother's a graphic designer, and he's just started a job in Shoreditch, so like he's doing great things, and having like that to look up to is quite daunting but like exciting at the same time. They're big boots to fill, to be fair, like my family. I think so. I think they're all proud of me. The fashion degree from ECA set us up really well because I feel like we've had a really good insight to all the different aspects of the fashion industry. I had a girl recently ask me on LinkedIn or something about the course, whether she should study here, and I basically said it's small, which means you just have so much support. You get quite close to the tutors, and they sort of start to understand you as a person and your own style, which helps you develop that more. And I think that in itself is one of the best things about Edinburgh. Is it's I do feel like I've sort of grown as a designer in that time.
I choose to transfer to Edinburgh because I want to experience the different learning atmosphere here, and it turns out that it's a very good decision.
It's been such a good experience, and I don't think that any of the other courses would have really matched up to what ECA had to offer for us all.